I think I heard it be out wrong.
I want to call to order the November 5th, 2015 meeting of the Ascension Parish Council. Would everyone please stand for the prayer? Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. Lord, we thank you for taking us through this hurricane season safe. And Lord, please look after everybody through these rain events. Lord, it's with special intentions that we ask that you look down on the LaBelle family for the passing of Miss LaBelle, grandmother of Officer Demby, who guards us on many a night here in the Donaldsonville area. We ask this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Secretary. Please note that all council persons are present except Councilman Shakespeare could not make it. Chair's additions, there are none, but I want to let the council know that we're passing on agenda item number 15 at the request of the people that brought it in. No other changes. For the public comment period, anyone wishing to speak on an agenda item, please sign in with the secretary and you'll be given time to speak when that item comes up. Right now, we'll move into our presentations. We have the St. Teresa Middle School Robotics Club with a small presentation. Are you ready? Please come to the microphone, state your name and what y'all all about.
Hello, we are the St. Teresa Middle School robotics team, and my name is Zoe Soulier, and I'm an 8th grader at St. Teresa. And we'd like to thank you for our opportunity to talk to you about this project we've taken on as a team to promote recycling in our area. We've always had recycling at our school in one form or another over the years, but it was brought more fully to our attention due to the robotics competition we're currently entered and about how important recycling really is.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Tommy Hurdle in 8th grade. First LEGO League Robotics Challenge this year is called Trash Trek. Robotics has always been about helping students learn how to problem solve and think creatively through the use of science, technology, engineering, and math. As part of the competition, we were told we needed to identify a type of trash and come up with a solution as to how we as students can make a difference in how it is handled, and so it doesn't just go into our already overflowing landfills.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Alex Topley in 8th grade. To learn more about trash and recycling, we took a field trip to the Recycling Foundation in Baton Rouge. Mr. David Quave, the plant manager, took us on a tour around the recycling facilities so we could see how they sorted different types of trash. We saw how different pieces of equipment separated the paper from the plastic and metal, along with human help to remove sharp things that shouldn't be there, like kitchen knives. It made us really appreciate how much trash is really out there.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Clyde Henry, and I'm in 6th grade. We chose a type of trash that is regularly thrown away at our school: paper, plastic, aluminum cans, and cardboard. To increase awareness among our students, we decided to have Recycle Wars where everyone wins. We set it up where we have a grade level competition between 4th and 8th grade to see who could bring in the most of these types of trash to be recycled over a 2-week period. We're almost done with our competition, and we'll end with a pep rally that has a recycle theme.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gabriel Defeat. After our competition is over, our school plans to continue promoting recycling at both our school and among our families. One of our teachers is especially passionate about the importance of recycling, so we'll continue to make a difference. We also wanted to talk to you so that a reminder could go out about how important recycling is. If a student can tackle something like this, we hope to inspire others to make a difference too. We all have learned some facts. We learned through our research that we think you might find it motivating to help us make a change.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Emma Britton, a sixth grader at St. Teresa. HGTVs are safely wall-mounted because of aluminum. The average weight of a 40-inch HGTV with an aluminum casing is 40 pounds. An equivalent steel model would weigh a wall-straining 100-plus pounds. Did you know that 80 billion aluminum cans are disposed of each year? Over 50% of aluminum cans produced are recycled. And the energy you save by recycling a single aluminum can could run a TV for 3 hours.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Riddell Banner, 6th grade. Out of the 50 billion water bottles being bought each year, 80% end up in a landfill, even though recycling programs exist. Plastic are sorted by polymer types, color, crushed, and then made into bales. Plastics are then made into new carpet, clothing, bottles, grocery bags, and plastic bins.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Grant Seveno, and an ocean gyre is a system of circular ocean currents formed by the Earth's wind patterns and by the rotation of the planet. Trash gets drawn into the center and becomes trapped there. A plastic water bottle can be thrown into California, travel all the way to Japan, and then get trapped in the Great Pacific Trash Gyre. The trash vortex is an area the size of Texas and the North Pacific in which there is an estimated 6 kilos of plastic for every kilo of natural plankton.
Hello, my name is Adam Schick-Snyder from St. Teresa. The sad part about trash is that it can kill animals who get tangled in plastics or mistaken it for food. Plastic bags and other garbage thrown into the ocean kill as many as 1 million sea creatures every year. Loggerhead sea turtles make plastic bags for jellyfish, their favorite food. Albatross mistake plastic resin pellets for fish eggs and feed them to their chicks who die of starvation or ruptured organs. Seals and other marine mammals get entangled in fishing nets and drown. It's important to do something about this.
Thank you.
Hello.
You can pull the microphone down, ma'am. Oh, well. There you go.
Hello, I'm Grace Landry, and we hope that in talking with you today, recycling is increased. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Would you guys please stay up there? Do we have anyone of the family group or the parent group or the teacher group that would like to summarize what you guys are doing over there? Yes, indeed. Seems like a great group you have.
I'm Janice Amon. I'm the robotics moderator at St. Teresa Middle, and I cannot tell you what a fantastic group of kids this is, because they're motivated and they're creative and they're trying to make a difference. We're very proud of them.
Thank you very much. Would you guys come back up? The parish president, they would love a picture with you, sir.
I'd love to take one.
If y'all can move up here where y'all can kind of spread out a little bit.
Yeah, hold up your pictures.
Anybody that wants to take pictures in the audience, don't be shy. You can step on up there. Get up in there. Let's act like we love each other.
Keep smiling.
Thank you very much. That's a great group. Look, you're not starting too early, and don't stop for the rest of your life. I think this council has tried several times to initiate some parish-wide recycling, and we have some good companies that have bought into it, and there's some recycling offered, but stay with it. We appreciate it. Parish President's report, sir.
One thing I have is I want to remind all of you guys that this Sunday there's going to be a parade for the veterans on Irma Boulevard. It'll start by the courthouse at 2 o'clock. I'd like to see a lot of your faces there. I'll be there, and I'll be in my new office about 1 o'clock. So if y'all want to come and tour, and you can kill two birds with one stone, and look at the facilities. And on Sunday, if you want, you can bring your fishing rod. Allow you to fish. But anyway, please try to get out and support our veterans. And also on September 11th, November 11th at 11 o'clock, we also have the Veterans Day services at the park, and they're going to be unveiling a new monument there, and I think it'll be very exciting. And I'd like to see a few faces there also, but please remember our veterans. They're the reason that we can do what we're doing here tonight. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys. So thank you, and that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. With that, with the veterans, I think that what I'm seeing advertised is a green lighting effort, that you put out a green light somewhere where it can be seen to let you recognize the veteran, because as we look around the room, we don't recognize them if they're not in uniform, and we appreciate them. We'll move on to agenda item number 7, consent agenda. Chair would entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Lohr. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes. We'll move to agenda item number 8, committee recommendations. Our committee chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Personnel Committee met on October 28th, 2015, and gave the following recommendations. The first was for the Library Board appointment. There was one opening. We had one applicant that was reapplying and 2 new applicants. The committee recommended that Mr. LaThought Delaney Sr. be recommended for a reappointment.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Mr. Todd Lambert, second. All right. Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes.
Okay, the second was a Mental Health and Addictive Disorders Board openings. There were actually 4 openings on that board. We had one that was reapplying and 3 new applicants. The person that was reapplying was Ms. Kathy Evanston, and she was recommended for reappointment.
We have a motion by Mr. Dempsey Lambert, second by Mr. Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any opposition? So moved.
All 3 new applicants were also recommended. We'll do those in order. The first is Ms. Kimberly Burgess-Smith.
Motion by Mr. Benny Johnson.
Second.
Second by Ms. Cazzo. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes.
Next was Ms. Elsie Joan Brown.
Motion.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes.
Lastly, Ms. Lisa Chavis Anderson.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Todd Lambert,
Second.
second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? Any opposition?
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Lohr. We'll move on to agenda item number 9 in the general business. Approval of resolution authorizing the adoption and execution of attached water utility asset purchase and sale agreement, purchase agreement with Water Treatment and Controls Company, DBA Peoples Water Company of Donaldsonville, and 2, providing for the related matters. Mr. O'Neill Parrington. Mr. Diaz.
It's been
Had to
passed
look
off
up,
to
sir.
the junior associate in the parish firm. Jeff Diaz, long time no see, guys. Happy to be here. Parish president, councilman. Always happy to be here, especially on a project like this, which is a positive improvement for the parish. You are familiar with this. You actually adopted in principle in September. And since September, we've worked with Peoples Water Company attorneys from Florida, as well as Baton Rouge, to come to an agreement on the actual terms of the agreement. You've been provided with 5 documents: the resolution to adopt it, the agreement, and there are 4 exhibits attached to the agreement. You basically know the terms of the deal, which is that we're buying Peoples Water Company and all of its assets, including its customer base. They have 3,100 customers. We're buying 3 pieces of property, and we're buying the business, if you will, some equipment, some vehicles, the accounts receivables. There are 2 action items that have to occur after. This is a purchase agreement. If you adopt this, there will be 2 action items that we have to do before you buy it. But if you adopt this, then we will be buying it if those things should happen, and we expect they will. That is Public Service Commission approval, and that is also the title examination on the 3 pieces of property. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Before we go into that, I stand remiss. I had a speaker on this, Mr. Kerry Williams.
Good afternoon to our councilmen, to our parish presidents. Great to be here tonight. Folks, this is issue that came up, concerns in my area. Of course, you know, in District Number 1. I want to say this. We're buying People's Water Company. The folks, remember, we had bad poison in our water system. And, you know, that's not fair to the public. Not doggone share not fair to me, because I have residents that work at the People's Water Company, and it's not fair to them. Because you buying it, and then if you buy it, then what's going to happen to the people that work in there? That's not fair. Councilman, come on. It is not fair, and I don't think it's fair, and I'm standing for what's right in District 1. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Diaz.
I assure you that, first off, all the folks in Donaldsonville will be protected by better water, because what this enables us to do is we will no longer be purchasing water from St. James and Assumption. We'll be producing our own water, which is what the fact we're having to purchase it and ship it through so many lines, which was causing us the problems that it was. The employee situations take care of, because in section 402, we are actually acquiring all of the current employees of People's Water Company.
Yes, indeed.
For a period of 6 months at their current rates of pay, including any reasonable raises they may get during this process. So if this process takes another year and People's gives them a reasonable pay increase, then we will be paying them that. So no employees will be hurt, no citizens of Donaldsonville will be hurt. This will produce a better product at a better price.
Thank you, sir. We had entertained a motion.
So
Mr.
moved.
Joseph.
Approve the,
Second by Mr. Johnson. Discussion. Any discussion? Approved.
Thank you all.
Move on to agenda item number 10, change order number 2, project number 13014, governmental complex building. Mr. Enlow or Mr. Mujo? Mr. Enlow. How you doing, Mike?
Good. How are you guys? Good evening. We have in front of you, apologize, we had a mess up on the paperwork, so I put hard copies in front of you. Change order number 2 increases by $18,474, adds 29 days, and there's 5 items that are described and the cost for each of those items. Some of these things that I've learned with managing a project like this happen when the fire marshal comes in and looks over what you've done versus the design, and you have to add things in there. So those are I think the first 2 items. The asphalt section was, if you guys remember, there was a hospital here and there's a demolition that took place, and within that parking lot there was this island that remained. We didn't want to really damage more concrete than we needed to, so basically it was overlooked when we had to put it back in to get it demolished, and I think we maybe thought it would have worked with the design, but looking at it now, there were some bollards that were damaged, and Chairman, as you know, when those bollards, those steel bollards go pretty deep into the concrete, it's pretty tough to fix them. So that added some cost, and then the back parking lot, some asphalt was damaged by that same demo contractor. I think we had withheld a certain amount on the demolition contractor. So
We have a motion by Mr. Benny Johnson, second by Mr. Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passed. We'll move to agenda item number 11, change order number 3, project number 13014, governmental complex. Mr. Enlow.
Right, okay, this is for the temporary generator that we had to get installed, and it was installed incorrectly and really damaged some light fixtures that were just put in. So this is $62,443 to replace those lights, and we're going to be getting this back from the contractor once we.
A motion by Mr. Benny Johnson, second by Mr. Melanson. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We'll move on to agenda item number 12, resolution to authorize the parish president and administration to engage in special legal counsel and financial accounting firm to review upcoming sewer proposals. Fellow council members, that's something I put on there. That's in anticipation. It's going to need to be done at some point. And Mr. Parrington, do you have anything to say on that?
The process will be that we'll get the proposals and look at the contracts, and from there, I've already spoken with the district attorney. He and I will review them, and then he and I will go to the Attorney General's office. If at that point in time we feel we need special counsel, we're just asking for the authority to do it now, so we'd have to come back at a later date and do it.
Thank you, sir.
Motion.
A motion by
Second.
Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Sadler. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes. We'll move on to agenda item number 13, authorization to purchase wetland mitigation units for Edenborn Connection Road. Mr. Parrington.
Yes, this is the wetland mitigation that's needed for the Edenborn connection. I have a copy of the proposals that were made. Vulcan was working with us on this, and the contract for who they recommended that we go with. We're buying 22.8 acres of bottomland hardwood for $262,200. That's within our budget, which was $300,000 for wetland mitigation.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Turner.
Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Joseph. Second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Brian Melanson. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes. We'll move to agenda item number 14, approval of amended CARA agreement to move takeover date to November 10th. Mr. Parrington.
Yes, CARA was ready for November 10th. They've got their information straight, and they asked that they be able to allow the takeover at that time so they can get in there. In fact, they want to start cleaning up this weekend.
It just moves it up a little bit,
Just
right?
moves it up, and we agreed to prorate
We have
for 20 days.
We have a motion by Mr. Dempsey. Second by Mr. Dempsey Lambert, second by Mr. Dan Sadler. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes. We had passed on agenda item number 15. We'll go to number 16, zoning review ID 2547.15-37.957 acres of the Hilton Idell property for Industrial Commercial Properties LLC located on the east side of St. Landry Road, approximately 3,800 feet south of LA Highway 30 Road, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from conservation to mixed-use corridor. MU Zoning Commission recommends denial of this item.
I'd like to make a substitute motion to zone as light industrial in place of mixed use.
Do you have a motion to go to light industrial?
Yes.
We have a second by Mr. Lohr. Any discussion? We have speakers. Y'all still, I apologize once more. I'm passing my speakers up.
Chairman, let me just comment. This is just the recommendation. We're still going to have to do an introduction of an ordinance and then a public hearing and all on an ordinance.
Okay, before we get into this, sir, could you just stay right there? We had some questions throughout on the council members on the exact order of business for this type, and based on the review, not review, coming back, can you give us a quick summary?
When a matter comes from now on, a matter will come from planning and zoning with a recommendation to accept or deny. If you accept or you decide to move forward on it, then you will make that action at that meeting, and I will prepare. If you agree, if it's a denial and it'll end there.
Yes.
If you recommend to go forward, we'll introduce an ordinance at the next meeting, and then following in the time of advertising and all, then we'll have a public hearing. So
Right.
so we've cut out a step where you just would get a report with no action.
Yeah, there was just like some concern on some council members that we make sure that the public gets to have their say on our level. We know they had their say down at the commission.
But a public hearing, you still have a public hearing on the rezone.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Mr. Leroy Thomas.
Hello.
I apologize, sir, for holding you up.
That's okay. I want to say hi to all the council members, parish president. I'm Leroy Thomas with Industrial Commercial Properties, and we were here a little more than a year ago asking for LI, and we didn't get denied, but we got put off the agenda till y'all could pass mobile home zoning and RV parks.
Right.
And we did recommend LAU, MU, but understand that council would probably be more in favor of LI. We had some opposition from PASF at Planning and Zoning for MU for townhouses and apartments.
Yes, sir, we saw that.
And so we are willing to accept LI if the council would consider it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
Any
Thank you very much.
discussion? Mr. Lambert, you wish to speak, sir?
I'm not going to take any more of your time. I think you know what we're interested in.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Brian Malone.
Because and O'Neill, you might be able to answer, because the agenda item was to actually accept or deny the planning, or the zoning commissions. Do we have to get a motion on that first before we get the substitute motion instead of, could we
Well,
just
the
kind of?
substitute motion would be to.
It's okay to do it that way?
Right.
I don't think we need a motion. If we had a motion to go in that direction, we'd needed a substitute motion. The initial motion was to go light industrial by Mr. Turner, second by Mr. Lord. Any further discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes. We'll move on to agenda item number 17, introduction ordinance to revoke the existing 15-foot servitude running along south lines of lots 2A and 2B-1B of the power on petition for Rutco Agency.
Motion introduced.
Second. A motion introduced by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Todd Lambert. Any opposition? It is introduced. We'll move on into our public hearing ordinances.
Chairman, would legal ask that we defer this to the next meeting? That for some reason we introduced an ordinance, but we don't have a copy in anybody's packet, and so it's really hard for me to read one that I can't see. So we just ask that we move it to the next meeting.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anybody
No rush.
outside this room waiting on that, if that's the way the administration wants to go.
It's the
Do
rental
we need a
fees,
motion to defer?
and that building's not ready yet anyway.
All right, we need a motion to,
Postpone till next month.
we have a motion to defer until,
O'Neill, can we get it by next meeting, or you want to
Yes,
put it off
we'll
till
have
next
it,
month?
no, we'll have it next meeting.
Okay, do it
okay,
till
a
the next
motion to
meeting.
defer to the November, what meeting is that? Cinnamon, what date? 19.
We'll have it at that time.
Yeah, 19.
We have a motion to defer until the November 19th meeting. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Second by Mr. Lord. Any discussion? Any opposition? It is deferred. We'll move on to agenda item number 21.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Lord.
All right.
Second.
Second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? No opposition? We are adjourned.